Boy, woo! We are live, and it's a blessed, wonderful, sleepless Monday afternoon, kicking off the week. New week, more smiles, more love, more blessings. Come on now, more goals to execute on. You know what it is. It is your host, the criminal, the one that they do, in fact, call him Mr. El Tucretente, the ultimate sensei, a.k.a. I got to say that 3 times last week, and I'm looking really forward to saying it on Friday for JID versus Fabulous. We got a 14-round showdown tiebreaker, 1-1 between me and Swayze incoming. But man, it's been a while since I got to tap back in and pull up a chair, aka sit on this leather couch, and talk to y'all about all the recent madness that's unfolded in the simulation, all the new music, the movies that have came out, where I've been, because I've been outside a lot recently as well. But big cheers, big pros. You know, I got the whistle wetter with me, and you will never know the contents of what's inside the cup. But with that being said, though, to kick it off, hope everybody's having a blessed, wonderful week to kick off. I believe it feels like we're about right in the middle of August now. Heat dying down a little bit, but it's definitely still there on some days, and it varies considering we do reside in Cleveland, Ohio. Well, I'm not sure where you guys are from, but that's where I am located. But to kick off my recent life recap, since the last time I tapped in with y'all and talked to y'all. Well, let's take it from the top. I remember the last time that I tapped in was actually the day of that I was going out to Hilarities. I was downtown. The SmackDown was in town. However, I did not attend that. However, though, me, Koozie, and our ladies got to go out, and that was a fun time. We got some dinner at Harry Buffalo right next to the Rocket. Then we waltzed right across the street in time to go see Bryce Stanley. Actually, Bryce Stanley was the opener, and then the headliner was Steve Trevino. That was the first time that I've ever actually been to Hilarities, and I had a phenomenal, incredible experience. Really loved the venue. For those of you that like good stand-up comedy, want to go to a nice venue, they have great service, come right up to your table. I thought that was unique. I thought that was dope. Never saw the bottom of a beer before I had another one already lined up on the table. So you know that's amazing in my book right off the rip. That's a good way to lay in first impression. But Hilarities is actually located inside of a restaurant, kind of right by the strip that leads you from East 9th kind of over towards the Flats and the Jack's Casino area for those that have been downtown. Right by one of my favorite bars as well, right by the corner alley, which is right next to the House of Blues, one of my favorite venues. Can't go wrong with that. But no, I thought I had a great time at Hilarities. I thought Steve Trevino was great. We got to meet Bryce Stanley after the show. I bought a lighter off of him. Still have it. Still has flame in it. So Bryce Stanley, you got some good lighters, dog. And it's also got a bottle opener on the other side of it. But no, I thought they were both hilarious. Loved their jokes. I didn't know anything about Bryce. I barely knew the littlest bit about Steve going in. But I thought that they were both super funny. I had an incredible time there. Great show. Follow that up. I was outside not this past Wednesday, but the Wednesday before. We went to AEW Dynamite, me and a couple buddies. Koozie was there as well. That was his first wrestling show. We were at the Wolfstein Center on that Wednesday night. And I got to admit, I mean, I know they ended up saying it was the second highest rated AEW show of the year. Maybe y'all got to come to Cleveland more often. But no, that was my second time ever seeing AEW. That was my first time ever seeing an AEW Dynamite. I thought the card was incredible. The Bucks versus Bro Dito was match of the night. I love the MJF promo and his match as well that he had. Thought that was incredible. Him and Mark Briscoe. Love the opening match as well. Excuse me, Wall. John Moxley versus Speedball. But no, I thought they had an incredible card. We did not stay for the dark matches at the end. But I thought the Lucha openers for Ring of Honor, though, was absolutely incredible. And Wolfstein Center, here's the great thing. Couple dollars for a hot dog, $5 for a soda, like $6 for a beer, if that. And I actually still got, I'm not going to drop this woman's name. I don't want to get her in any hot water there. But she did hook me up with not just one, but 2 free brews. And I didn't even have to pay for Koozie's Lemonade. So that came in super clutch. Anytime you're getting a free brew at a venue, I mean, is that not a 5-star experience? I don't know what to tell you. But no, I had a lot of fun there. Of course, I love watching some good old live wrestling. That was probably like the 32nd wrestling show I've ever seen live. I lost the count years ago. But I had a great time there. And I was back outside again. Last Thursday, you could have found me at the Blossom Music Center where we got to see Belly Gang Cushington and Tyga and Lil Wayne. Obviously, I was there for Belly Gang. No, but Tyga and Lil Wayne, though, they smoked it. That was actually my second time seeing Tyga, third time seeing Weezy. And I thought Tyga had an incredible set. Um, I thought Tyga had an incredible set overall. I was kind of surprised that he did Get Low. He did a little rendition of Get Low towards the end of the set. But the first time, though, that I saw Lil Wayne and Tyga, I have to share that story. First time I saw Lil Wayne and Tyga was in 2013. And around that time was when I just started becoming like a very daily habitual weed connoisseur. Have you? Let's be friendly with the YouTube community guidelines here now. But obviously, though, at that time, though, I could not drink yet as well. I couldn't buy a legal beer there. So me and my buddy Young Weasley, a.k.a. Jimothy Burton, were really, really hoping that we were going to be able to get our weed that day. We only had one weed guy. We probably would have paid $90 for that quarter anyways. But however, our weed guy was out. So the only option that we had of smoking anything at that time was we had to go to a local smoke shop and buy two $8 electronic cigarettes, e-cigs. Yep, still remember my flavor to this day. It was blue raspberry. So as Tyga and Weezy are performing and everybody's enjoying all this weed around us, here we are smoking e-cigs. Now, granted, it was a good show, but that clearly put a damper on our mood. So I needed to get my redemption for Tyga and Lil Wayne, and I can proudly say I am redeemed because me and my wife, our friends, Kuzi was also there. Look at that. He was there for all three of these experiences. But no, we had an incredible time. Lil Wayne smoked it. Out of the 3 times that I've seen him, that was hands down the best Lil Wayne set I've seen yet from the entrance to the outro. Thought that was absolutely incredible. Lil Wayne smoked it. Reminded us why he is indeed a rap god. And you know what? Tyga had a lot of fun up there, too. Tyga had the crowd lit, had everybody jamming, grooving, and that's what it's all about. It was a sold-out show. My only complaint would be, and I want to make sure to stress this, please stop doing drugs that you're not used to doing, that you don't have a tolerance for, and drinking way more than you have a tolerance for and way more than you're used to, going to a concert and starting commotion and causing trouble. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm too old for it. It's not funny anymore. Hasn't been funny for years. I don't think there's anything funny about it, cute about it, cool about it, nothing. It is cornball energy at the toppest tier because all we had to do was walk out of that venue and everybody just had to walk to their car and go home. But what happens? Oh, don't worry. I didn't get it from that. I didn't get this from that. That's a whole different story. We're working up to that. But as we're leaving, I'm in the back, friends up front. We're single file, trying to get to the car. We're kind of brushing between the sea of people. We got somebody with us that doesn't really do that well around crowds. Hell, the older I get, I don't even really like being stuck inside the middle of a sea of people. But all we got to do is just walk to the cars. One goal, one mission, one thing to do. Get to the cars, get home, have a safe drive. Nope, people can't do that. Why? Because they can't handle their drugs and they can't handle their alcohol. So as we're leaving, out of nowhere, I hear, well, do something, pussy. Duh. Next thing I know, I look over to my left. I'm feeling a good buzz, just trying to get home so I can keep the buzz going. And these two cornballs start trading blows back and forth and damn near actually almost get right next to my girl, which obviously, as you know, that starts getting my temper going a little bit. But luckily, everybody's safe, not a scratch, not a nick on them. All we had to do was just get to the car. I tried yelling chill out, even though that probably just made them get even more crazy, more rowdy. But no, I do want to just throw that statement out there. Stop doing shit that you know you can't handle and then wonder why shit goes south. Because I guarantee those two bozos woke up the next morning like, oh, fuck, why do I have this black eye on a missing tooth? Oh, that's right, because I drank 3/4 of a bottle that I can't even usually take 5 shots out of without falling asleep. So stop doing that shit, man. Come on, y'all. Go there, have a good time. Keep the love high. Keep the love high. These are your peers, brothers and sisters, all just jammed and grooved out together. What are we fucking fighting for, man? Come on now. Be better than that. But before we dive into some new music reviews and new movies reviews, though, I do feel like I got to at least comment on where this Harry Potter scar that is now on my head and where that has came from. So, for those that didn't get to see, because only a couple people did, that being Danathan Daly, Doomer, Captain Crunch, and good brother Koozie Vert, was we were just having a little bit of an after Sleepless Radio celebration on Saturday night, where I continued to put back some more brews, and then I continued to put some more brews back on top of those brews, into which I eventually ended up smoking and drinking so much, but I wasn't at a Lil Wayne show, and I knew I was exceeding my limit, but I continue to push the limit anyways because that's who I am as a human being. And I may or may not have lost my balance a skosh, and may or may not have broke said fall once I lost said balance with my forehead. Good tactic, apparently so. Not too much bruising, was a little sore yesterday, but nothing too bad. Took that bump like a champ. But if you're wondering where that scar came from, well, now hopefully you can sleep peacefully at night. It was because I got too drunk on Saturday night in front of 4 of my best friends. I decided to spike my head like Gronkowski spiking a ball into the turf. I just chose a table instead of grass. But that is where the scar came from. But now on that note, I've been so eager and excited to share with you guys the music that I've been rocking with the most, the movies that I've been rocking with the most, the music that I haven't liked, and the movies that I also didn't really enjoy. But as always, we're going to keep the love high, and we're going to start with the love first. So with that being said, over the past couple of weeks, I did like the Haitian Boy Kodak Expanded Edition. I added Before I Go featuring Rod Wave, and I do really like this record called Senseless. That's my first highly recommendation over the past couple of weeks. I started getting big into Alex Warren, the guy that does the Ordinary song. Now, he hasn't really dropped anything new, but I went back into his catalog and I ended up liking a lot off of that. I listened to the new Bryson Tiller, Solace in the Vices. I probably got to go back and listen to it again. But off first listen, though, I did really like 200 Bands with Plies and T-Pain. I saw featuring Plies and T-Pain, and I thought we were in 2007 again. I was ecstatic. But I listened to... Let's see the redrops. Okay, we'll get there. I really like Lost Americana with MGK. I know my wife highly recommends it, but I really like Goddamn, Vampire Diaries, Miss Sunshine, and Don't Wait, Run Fast off of that album. I like Ice-T, Young Nudie, 21 Savage, Project Pat, and Coop off of Young Nudie's Paradise album. I love that they dropped the Life is Beautiful Deluxe, Larry June, 2 Chainz, and The Alchemist. Spy Hunter and Days Like This are absolutely incredible joints. I do highly recommend those. I got back into, let's see here. Well, there I was listening to a lot of Crit, but that's because of the battle. I got a little bit back into my Queen Latifah bag. I had somebody put us on to Tara Reid in one of the chats during a Sleepless Radio. That was a lot of fun. We have Lil Wayne decided to drop a lot of his old mixtapes back up on all DSPs, so I was able to add some of those, like D5, even though they took it right off immediately. But you do got The Drought 3 still up there, and it looks like they took The Drought 2 off as well. So I guess go listen to them while they're still up, because who knows when they're going to get taken down if they're not all already. I saw that Rick Ross dropped the Rich Forever mixtape on DSPs, which I was really excited for that. However, I was a little displeased at the fact that he immediately had to take off Fuck 'Em, featuring 2 Chainz and Wale, which is my favorite joint on that classic mixtape. But I'm always glad to see that they're putting classic mixtapes back on the DSPs. I can't wait to see more of it. I just hope that they stick, though, because I hate it that they put them back up. I add it into my library, and then I go to listen to it 2 days later, and it's freaking gone. That's horse manure and cow dung, if you ask me. But now for my highest of recommendations. Let's kick it off with a brand new single that just came out last night, fresh off the press, shall we? This is Joey Badass, produced by Chuck Stranger's Dark Aura. New single and music video out now, and I do believe Joey Badass is finally slated to be dropping that new album soon. Looking really forward to that. Love some new Joey Badass, and I know he just spoke on it a couple days ago about how I do believe that Joey has been delayed by the label, and that's why we've been waiting so long for the new album, is because of all the delays that the new label has been throwing his way. But now for the toppest of the highest recommendations. The capital HIGHs have you. I got 3. I'm going to start with 2 albums first. First is one that came out a couple weeks ago, and you guys know how pumped I was for this. I champion this dude all the time. I've been talking about this guy for years. I got to see him very early on. I've been hip since 2016, and I have had my finger on this guy's pause for a long time following his career. Excited to see where it goes and excited for every new record that we've been getting. And that is JID's newest album, God Does Like Ugly. And oh my God, God loves ugly. Because if JID is referring to himself as the one that is ugly that God loves, well, then God clearly does love him. Because this was an incredible album. As I've said, JID, I do believe JID is not a human being. I believe that he is an alien and he walks among us on Earth and he just talks perfectly fine, but he raps like he has gills, and I'm pretty sure this guy has not taken a breath since 2009. However, where do I begin? One, I'll tell you this. It's one of the albums this year that I did buy. I did purchase. I bought it on digital, though. I did not buy a hard copy of it. But my top, in fact, you know what? I'm going to go top 5 joints because we're talking about JID here. Number 1, favorite record on God Does Like Ugly, give me Community with Pusha T and Malice with Clips. I think Malice is cementing himself that he very well might be the greatest male rapper of this year. And I really, really hope he keeps delivering on this feature run as well as the run that he's just been on with the Clips album. I still got that as my album of the year, but I got to put God Does Like Ugly right up there with him. Exercise Your Demons, 304, represent, baby. Appreciate you being tuned in live, PGM. By the way, I just want to take a slight quick pivot. PGM's been dropping great music, and I know he's got more on the horizon. Me and Swayze and Doomer loved listening to those couple of joints off of BandLab as well. Took us a couple minutes to get into BandLab, but once we got into BandLab, brother, you were throwing bops at us, and we reviewed not only just one, but we reviewed multiple as well. I know we at least did a full 2, but I think we kept a couple of your joints on those as well. But happy to see you exercising those demons with us. But yeah, Community is my favorite joint off of God Does Like Ugly. Once again, I think Malice had a phenomenal, immaculate verse on that. Number 2, VCRs with JID and Vince Staples. Another incredible joint. I think that was the first time we ever got to hear JID and Vince rap together. And let me tell you, they did not disappoint, not one bit, not even a sliver. I really loved JID, Sierra, and Earth Gang. Normally, I would have beef with Sierra because of the whole Russell Wilson thing, but as the years go on, I got to keep the love high and the hate low. Sierra, it's all love. But I really love that joint, though, with Earth Gang and Sierra. Skate. I love On McAfee with JID and Baby Kia. I thought JID was just being the flow god as always on that joint. And I got to say, I really, really, really liked What We On, JID featuring Don Toliver. I thought that was a very unique collab, and I thought they knocked it out the park. I thought they really delivered on that joint. And yeah, I think if you guys really love good rap, good hip hop, I don't want to hear you ever say, "Oh, hip hop's dead." Ooh, no, it's not. You just got to go find it. God Does Like Ugly. It's there. Let God Sort 'Em Out. It's there. Emperor's New Clothes. Raekwon. It's there. Joey Badass. Album on the Horizon. It's there. And now I'm going to throw out my second highly recommendation over the last couple of weeks. Starline. Chance the Rapper. Chance, you did it. I thought, I said it a couple weeks ago that I was excited for the new Chance album, but I was worried. Because I've been a big Chance the Rapper fan for a long time, and I think that he got too much hate on Big Day. Was Big Day a dud? Yes. Did it deserve all of the hate that he got for it? Absolutely not. Not in my book. I thought that was way too overhated at the time, especially with the track record that he already had and showed. I thought that we kind of over-criticized him a little too much for Big Day, but the years have passed. Chance the Rapper said it's that time again. And you know what? I highly recommend checking out the album. I think Chance the Rapper smoked it. Of course, I got to listen to it a little bit more. I've only given it a good 2 full listens at the moment. But you know what? I said the clock was on. I said that he had to take the ball up the court and he had to hit a buzzer beater. And if you ask me, Chance posted up from the logo like Chance Curry, like Steph the Rapper, and he shot that bitch and hit a swish. So Chance, I'm happy to see it, man. Chancellor Bennett at the buzzer. I know it's been getting some mixed reviews, but I think he's rapping phenomenally on it. I think there's a lot of good gems on it. So let me start there. My 3 favorite records on Starline, Drapetomania, Chance the Rapper and Baby Chief Do It. The Highs and Lows, Chance the Rapper and Joey Badass, which is one of the singles leading up into it. And Just a Drop, Chance the Rapper and Jay Electronica. But I thought his joint with Vince on there was cool too. Obviously, you get the Chance, Lil Wayne, and Smino single. I got nothing but great things to say about it, man. I'm happy to see Chance back, dropping albums, and he's getting a lot of love on it as well. And I think it's much deserved. I'm happy to see him back outside. So Starline and God Does Like Ugly, Chance and JID's new albums are at the top of my highly recommendation list. I saw A$AP Rocky drop the new single. I didn't want to glaze over that too much as well, just graze over that. But he did drop a new single called Trunks, which he, of course, was going at Drake. But I think at this point we should all just be used to it because I don't think that shit's going anywhere anytime soon. But for the last record that I wanted to review before I dive into some new movie reviews is the record that seems to have the timelines talking the most over the past couple of weeks. For those that don't know what record I'm talking about, that is Cardi B's newest single, and I do believe last single, leading up to the Am I the Drama album, which I'm looking really forward to that too. Barty Gang, baby. I love Cardi B. Wesh poppin'. But no, she just dropped another single, Imaginary Players, making that the fourth official single for Am I the Drama, following Outside, Up, and WAP. But I think she's 4 for 4 on the singles. I think Imaginary Players, I'm actually going to take it a step further. I think that's actually her best of the 4 singles that she's released so far. I mean, I know WAP and Up are 2 massive hits. Obviously, Up and Outside, both the themes of last year and this year's SummerSlams. So, I got nothing but love for those joints. But as far as rapping, I think her rapping on Imaginary Players is some of the best rapping I've ever seen Cardi B do, if not the best. I mean, she said, glory hole, you bitches don't know who you're fucking with. Like, what more do you need to hear? That's a bar. But, no, I really do. I think Cardi, though, she smoked it. Absolutely incredible new project on the horizon, just based on the 4 singles. I think that was Cardi B showing you. I mean, plus, I don't know if you guys knew this either. She did sample Jay-Z as well, Imaginary Players. So I really think, and she got him back into the top 40 as well too on the charts. That's the power of Barty, baby. Barty power. But no, Barty delivered. Happy to see Cardi rapping at an extremely high level, and hope to hear more of that on the album as well. Shout out Cardi B. Excuse him, wall. Good thing I got a whistle wetter. But now, another thing I love to do. Let's review some new movies, shall we? Good and bad. I got 3. Well, first off, I did go back to the movie theater for the second movie that I've got to see this summer, following Final Destination Bloodlines. A couple weeks ago, me and a couple of buddies hit up the movie theaters, and we went to go see Fantastic Four, the new one in theaters. I will give you a small spoiler, so if you want to skip over the next couple of minutes, you might want to do that if you don't want a spoiler, because I do want to talk about the end credit scene. So before I get into that, though, I do want to say I think this is the best Fantastic Four movie of the entire, ever since they started making them in the early 2000s. I like the ones with Jessica Alba and Chris Evans and Michael Chiklis. However, though, I do think that this Fantastic Four seemed to deliver more on the tradition of the stories with the heroes as opposed to what they did with the first 2. Obviously, I know a lot of people, I stand on a dying hill here. I actually kind of liked the 2016 version. However, with Miles Teller, I know that a lot of people hated and despised that version, though. I know that got universally shitted on, so they had to come back and reboot it one more time. But I do not think they need to ever reboot this cast or change the cast again. I thought Pedro Pascal and everybody involved knocked their roles out of the park. I thought this was the best thing yet. I thought Johnny Storm was the best as far as his connection to the comic books, from what I know. I thought the casting was incredible. I thought the storyline was great. I loved the retro futuristic, kind of like if you took the 1940s, 50s, like Times Square, but you like made it into like the future on some Jetsons shit. I thought that was really unique and cool how they went about that. And I really loved the whole story of it. And I did end up finding out that this is actually the movie that exists right before Avengers Doomsday, which makes sense because, spoiler alert, in the end credits scene, my favorite scene of the movie, once Sue Storm and Reed Richards have their child, he's sitting on like the other side of this piano, but he's looking up, and you can tell he's like looking at somebody. He's talking to somebody. So Sue goes to walk around the piano, and the last scene in the movie you see, the last end credit scene, she's like, "Oh, honey, who are you talking to?" And right when she turns the corner around that piano, all you see is that Doom mask and the black cape and hood and him talking to their kid. Absolutely the best end credit scene. I would have waited another 10 minutes for that. So Marvel, Fantastic Four, Y'all got it right this time. No need to recast. For the next movie, though, that I wanted to review before I get to the dud was, I know this one's kind of been getting mixed reviews a little bit here, but I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun movie. That movie that I'm referring to is Happy Gilmore 2. I know some people said that it was overdone with the cameos and in the middle of the movie they kind of do like a flashback. So for those of you that were maybe thinking, oh man, I got to go back and watch the first one still before I see the second one. Actually, really, no, you don't. Every character that's from the first one that you see in the new one, they either recap at the beginning of the film or throughout the movie as they appear. They'll take like a quick 20-second pause or 30 seconds and show you a scene from them in the first movie to compare from then to now. So I actually was one of the people that watched the original Happy Gilmore because I thought, oh man, I'm going in blind. I don't know none of these people no more. Turns out I didn't have to do that at all. But I thought it was a really fun movie. Obviously, I thought MJF did a great job in it. Thought Becky Lynch had a fun role. I thought Eminem's role getting eaten alive in the Gator Pit was pretty cool. Obviously, the Ben Stiller cameos. There's so many cameos in there, though. Bad Bunny being Oscar, I thought he did a great job. What can't Bad Bunny do, man? I'm sick of this dude. He can do fucking anything. But no, hella inspiration. I love Bad Bunny. Come on now. But no, Happy Gilmore 2, I thought it was a fun movie. Nice little fun watch. Just something to, smoke a J, smoke a Bleezy too, and just kind of sit back, maybe have a brewski or two and enjoy. That leads me, though, to the dud, which is actually funny. So, excuse me. I was just on this show, not even an episode or two ago. In fact, I think it was 2 episodes ago. And I was complaining about I haven't seen Ice Cube in a movie in such a long time, or even a show. The last time before his newest movie was he was a producer for Straight Outta Compton, and he was a part of the fist fight movie in 22 Jump Street. I was the one asking, where's Ice Cube? I miss Ice Cube. I love Ice Cube. How could Ice Cube ever drop a dud? Well, Ice Cube, I don't know if you just wanted to make a fool out of me and make me look stupid or what exactly your plan was, but why did you sign on to do a War of the Worlds movie? Why? Just why? I'm just asking why. Not hating. I'm just asking why. But now I'm going to start hating. For those of you that haven't seen the new War of the Worlds movie on Prime, Ice Cube is essentially doing the Tom Cruise role from the 2004 masterpiece that Tom Cruise put out. Tom Cruise one and done it. In fact, I think Tom Cruise did a remake of an original, and he did it in 2004 with probably a fourth of the budget that Ice Cube had from Amazon. And he knocked that bitch out of the park. Why? Because he's Tom Cruise. He's the GOAT. Ice Cube, you never should have done this movie. Why? Why did you do this movie? So, for those of you that have seen it, it is actually, to me, so bad that I think it's actually really funny. It's a comedy to me. Like, within a 10-minute period of this movie, Ice Cube manages to lose his son. He watches him die. He's from a computer. He's watching him die on a security footage, a live security camera, live camera footage. He's literally watching his son on FaceTime get smoked by these aliens. His response, oh. All right, back to work. 10 minutes later, very minor inconvenience happens to Ice Cube's computer, and he explodes. He freaks out. I'm like, dude, you just lost your kid 10 minutes ago. And now you're over here tweaking because somebody said they're watching you through the webcam on your computer? Like, I am convinced that Ice Cube was so rusty that he had no idea how to react to what. Because he was going for the Razzie in this performance. Ice Cube, I love you, man. But you're going to need to redeem yourself on that one. Because I don't know what you were thinking signing on for a War of the Worlds movie in 2025. That was atrocious. That was awful. Ice Cube, what are you doing? But with that being said, though, that pivots us into as we're going to start winding down here. But I wanted to tap in with y'all and chat with y'all. One last movie I did want to mention, though, that I did see has been killing it at the box office for the past 2 weeks. It's far exceeded its budget, and I'm so happy for it, and I can't wait to get to see it. That movie is Weapons, for those of you that haven't seen. For those of you that have seen, please let me know what you think of it. I'm looking really forward to it. I've heard nothing but amazing things. It looks like it could end up being the horror movie of the year, which there's been so many great horror movies that have came out and so many more still yet to come out. But it looks like Weapons is taking the bar and setting it even higher. So I'm looking really, really forward to seeing that. But another thing I'm looking really forward to, we're only a couple of Sundays away. I can hear the na-na-na-na, na-na-na-na-na. And I can also hear the I've been waiting all day for a Sunday night. Ooh, I can hear it already. I can smell the Budweiser already. Come on, baby. Football's back. We are back. We are so back. We are back. Football's back. And you know how I know football's back? Because the 49ers have a full fucking injured reserve and the Browns have no idea who their starting QB should really be for week 1 of the season. Football, we are back. Ooh, we are so back. I love it. The moment I was watching the Niners and Broncos, watching us get smoked and watching one player after another get carded and walk off the field, I said, oh, baby, we are back. But let's kick it off with the Cleveland Browns because they just made headline news today. Well, they had 5 to pick from, and the Cleveland Browns finally decided to land on one. Today, the Cleveland Browns have announced, starting week 1 on Sunday, Joe Flacco will be standing behind center as the Browns starting quarterback. I'm not against it, but I wouldn't have made that call personally. I would have said it should have came down to Sanders or it should have came down to Flacco. I would have gave the start to Sanders, and if Sanders wasn't getting going after the first couple of games, then I'd plug Flacco back in and let Schroeder kind of take a fall back and listen from him and just kind of watch and observe. But I would think that we'd want to get at least Sanders some official NFL regulation game time reps, not just in the preseason, because he looked phenomenal in the preseason. I'll agree with y'all on that. But we can't start counting our chickens going, that's our guy, that's our Super Bowl winner. No. Pump brakes. He looks really good. Let's not maybe throw him out there at first, maybe go with Flacco so we don't kill him. But at the same time, I thought Sanders looked sharp, and I think that the earlier we get him more in-game regular season reps, I think would benefit him a great deal. However, though, going with Flacco, I mean, hey, the proof's in the pudding and it's in the numbers, and he definitely delivers. So I do think that the Browns didn't necessarily make a bad call. They very well might have made a good call. But I would have went with Sanders first. And if by week 3, 4, he's struggling, then okay, then plug in Flacco and see how everything goes with that. I wouldn't let Kenny Pickett ever see the field personally. But because obviously everybody knows he's Kenny Pickett because whenever Kenny throws the ball, the defense picks it. Sometimes he doesn't even throw the ball. Sometimes he just holds on to it and spikes that bitch into the ground like me with my head and Gronk with the ball. But, Flacco's getting the start, and I guess we're going to have to see how he's going to perform, what the Browns are going to do. Obviously, as you know, I'm Homer Simpson in the bush. I can always pop in and out as either the Niners or the Browns fan. Sometimes I pop out with the Browns jersey and the Niners hat, or the Niners jersey and the Browns hat. But obviously, as you know, I'm a Niners fan too. The Niners have had a wonky preseason by every stretch of the word. We need people to throw too. Kittle's going to have to catch 30 balls a game if we even want to stand a chance at winning. But no, it's going to be an exciting NFL season. At the end of the day, I'm just so excited. I love seeing the fantasy football draft times approaching. For those of you that might be new and don't know this as well, for every fantasy football and fantasy basketball draft, I will be live breaking down my picks and breaking down the league's picks, seeing what y'all would take, seeing who you think I should take, seeing if you guys think I made a good call or a bad call. Some I'm always looking forward to, so I'm looking really forward to those shows as well. Got a couple of drafts coming up. And to close up out of here, I know we didn't do a Bumps and Bruises episode last week, so I will talk a little bit of wrestling. before I get out of here, but there will be a brand new episode of Bumps and Bruises this week. Last week just kind of got oversaturated with so many sleepless radios, but thank you to everybody who was tuned into those and judged and watched as well. Always a blessed, wonderful, beautiful, sleepless night with y'all all aboard the Ark. But as we close up out of here, I've been saying, people say I'm rage baiting on TikTok and I'm rage baiting on Reddit, but really I'm just hot take Tuker, standing 20 toes on everything that I say. And I'm about to stand 30 toes on what I'm about to say. Travis Scott, fuck you. That's what I think of you, Travis Scott. I think you're a joke of a human being. I think you're a joke of an artist. I think you're a joke of a father. I think you're a joke of a man. In fact, I wouldn't even call you a man. I think you're a joke of a boy, a Cactus Jack bitch-ass boy. That's what I think you are. And in fact, I don't even like that you took the Cactus Jack thing from Mick Foley. Give that back to him, too. I want you to give any wrestling thing that you've ever been shown. In fact, yeah, give Cactus Jack back. Give that title back that they gave you. Give it all back. And I don't ever want to see you on my television screen ever again. That's what I got to say to you, Travis Scott. So with that being said, though, Travis, why I got to call you that is, one, you made WWE. You come in, oh, I want to do this full time. I want to do this full time. No, you don't. You ain't got the discipline for that shit, bum. Sit down. You're greener than grass. In fact, you don't even know what greener than grass means. Acting like you want to know wrestling and all that. Man, I wouldn't let that dude anywhere near the vicinity of a building that has a wrestling show going on ever again. They let you come out at the end of WrestleMania. You potato Cody Rhodes in the ear. You damn near ruin the whole entire storyline. All for you to say, I want to train to become a wrestler. All for that to not amount to a hill of shit. And then you get kicked to the curb because you don't have discipline for what it takes inside of that squared circle, because clearly you didn't have the respect that you try to make it look like you had for wrestling. So with that being said, Travis Scott, you're a bitch. You don't have not even one sliver of respect for me anymore. Delete all that Astro bullshit off the app. I don't want to hear none of it again. How about that? And with that being said, though, gotta save the hate for the end. But at the end of the day, it's all love no matter what. Keep the love high and the hate low. Wake up with a smile on. Look in that mirror and say, I love you. Remind yourselves of 3 things you're grateful for. And I can't wait to see y'all again this week. It's Mr. Keep the Love High and the Hate Low. Your ultimate sensei, your captain speaking. Peace.